How to create a best-selling book in under 2 hours. Seems like a bold promise? Hey, this is Peng Joon here. I'm going to show you exactly what I did to launch my books and how I created 5 of them so far in under 2 hours, the mistakes that I made, what I learned, and how I turned them into best-selling books, and how even some of them has generated over $1 million in sales. Are you ready? Let's begin. Chances are, why you want to write a book? Well, first of all, many people have a book within because we want to use it to reach more people, to generate more leads, more sales. But the first thing to recognize is that it's not the book or the sale of the book that will make you a lot of money. It is what happens around it that will help you make a lot of money. Books can help you to get on radio, TV, newspaper. Books can help you to generate more leads. Books give you better positioning. Somehow, as an author, your market will see you differently. You're instantly positioned as an authority and as an expert. And if we recognize that ultimately that is the goal of books, that chances are the book is not going to be the next Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or the next Harry Potter, or the next 50 Shades of Grey, then we understand that the purpose is to first get the book out, to publish it. Because here's what happens. I believe that the number one reason why people never launch a book is because of perfection. Which is, by the way, why this is my first book ever. I published this book about 8 years ago. And it actually took me about 3.5 years to publish this book. And guess what? Even after 3.5 years, after multiple drafts, after having multiple editors doing it over and over again, when it was finally said and done, I still hated the book. It's my first book, so there's still meaning to it, but today many of the things are outdated, so I don't even want to sell it in bookstores anymore. This was the first mistake I made, trying to write a book when I am not a writer. Then something changed. These 2 books here, both of them has generated over $1 million each. Now this book over here is called Content Multiplier Formula. What if I told you that this book took me about 30 minutes to write it, and this book took me about 2 hours to write it? Now, how does that work? What if I told you that one of the best ways to have your book published is to actually speak your book? And that's ultimately what I did when I shifted from trying to write my book to speaking it. Here's what happened. This book here is called Content Multiplier Formula. And this was based upon a keynote that I was doing at an event at Funnel Hacking Live, where I was asked to speak in front of 5,000 people. So naturally, 5,000 people, I've done a lot of speaking gigs in the past, but I thought, like, how can I really deliver massive value to these people at this event? So what I did was I created a process, which is the same process I want you to adopt, the same mindset. Step number 1 is imagine you're gonna give the biggest speech in your life, which is what I did. I want you to imagine that a week from now, a month from now, you are gonna be asked to speak in front of 5,000 people. What is a process or a framework that you need to create to really deliver value and to be remembered and to be the most talked about speaker at the entire event or conference? That brings us to step number 2. I created a framework. Now this framework over here, it's basically a graphical representation to what it is that you're gonna teach. What if I told you that every single book I have, it all then begins with a framework? What is a graphical representation? And I've used them in all of my different books that I have, a graphical representation to what it is that you teach. With a framework, then you get to see what is the big picture, and that is when your audience understands the result you are going to help them generate. So step number 2 then is to establish your framework. Is it a 3-step process? Is it 5 steps? This was 4 steps, platform closing. Content Multiplier Formula, this was 9 steps. What is that graphical representation, that framework that you can utilize? If you take a look at every single thought leader, New York Times best-selling author, they all have a framework. Take a look at Rich Dad, Poor Dad. What is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki? What is the framework used? It's the cash flow quadrant. If you take a look at every single thought leader that has put out meaningful stuff, chances are they have a framework. So step number 2, after you put yourself in that position of pressure, like you have to get this speech done, think about what is that graphical representation. That brings us then to step number 3. Putting and labeling what those steps are. Try to make it catchy, simple. Okay, so for example, it could be publish, automate, monetize. 3-step process. Okay, maybe it is produce, promote, profit. Right? What is that 3 steps, 5-step thing for your framework? And once you've labeled it, that's when you start recording it. That brings us to step number 4. Step number 4 now is to get in front of camera, just like this one, and speak your process. If it makes you more comfortable, you could have a whiteboard in front and start teaching that 3-step, 5-step process. Okay, based on that framework. Because when you have the framework, people now understand what is the result you generate. They can see now where you're taking them. And this is when also it becomes proprietary. Now, what does that mean? Let me give you an example. So if you have read one of the most popular books in the area of money and wealth, which is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, over 100 million copies sold. What does the Rich Dad cash flow quadrant talk about? It talks about ESBI, right? Employee, self-employed, business, investor. An average marketer, an average writer, author, here's how they have done it. They have said, did you know that there are 4 ways to generate income? You could be an employee, you could be self-employed, you could be in business, or you could be investor. However, if you want to escape the rat race, you want to be either in the B or I quadrant. You see, that is how an average author as well as marketer would have created content. However, with that framework, why is it all different? Because it's proprietary. Because Robert Kiyosaki put it in that quadrant that says ESBI, guess what happens? This work can be trademarked. It can be protected. If somebody wants to translate it to the different language, they've got to pay royalty to Robert Kiyosaki. That is when it can be turned into a brand, translated to dozens of different languages. Why? Because of a framework. So now you're teaching your content in the form of framework, which is, by the way, what I did when I was speaking at Funnel Hacking Live, which, by the way, was what I did when I spoke in a 2-hour training talking about platform closing. That brings us to the next step, is to get somebody that is actually good at this, who is actually a writer that writes for a living, to do it for you very inexpensively. Now, guess what? There are many freelancers out there, and I'm also going to give you the site right now. One of them is reedsy.com, reedsy.com. You go to the site, there's literally plenty of ghostwriters, editors, people who will edit your copy, even do the formatting, all of it. And now all you need to do is you give them the training video that could be 30 minutes, could be 2 hours. You give it to them, and guess what? They write your book for you, and you're done. So all you need to do is to do the 30-minute training, which is what I did. I literally just gave my keynote speech over to my writer, or the 2-hour training. Same thing with these books. Guess what? They were all, I spoke my books. When I started speak, now these books, I'm proud of it. This book, which I tried to write myself, I hated it. And it took me years, and I still don't like it. Whereas these books, it has made me a lot of money, and guess what? I spoke my books. Because I don't know how to write. Well, I can, but I'm not good at it. It's not my strength. It'll take me years. So let's just quickly recap before I go on to the last step. Step number 1 is to put yourself in that pressure as though you're giving that keynote speech in front of thousands of people. Step number 2 is create a framework. Number 3 is label them. Number 4, get in front of a camera, send it to Reedsy, somebody that's, or a writer that's actually good at it. And finally, number 5, the last step is to get it published. How do you actually get it published really easily, quick, in just a couple of steps? You see, the longest, one of the most common excuses people tell me is they say, well, Peng Joon, I don't know how the publishing game works. Here's the differentiator between today and 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you need to get a publisher, commit to X amount of books, a few thousand books. You have to get the books printed, and your house ends up being a warehouse. Today, there are a lot of services called print on demand. So for example, Amazon has got a print on demand service. They've got a site that's called createspace.com. And literally CreateSpace, which is Amazon's publishing arm, is a tool that literally you could upload your Microsoft Word file together with an image. You tell them the dimensions, and guess what? They will print it on demand. So what that means is an order comes in, maybe you only get one sale for that week. Guess what? They print out that one book and then they ship it out. They print it out, next week you get another order. So literally, there's no cost, there is no capital upfront, you don't need warehousing, it's all print on demand. And that is how you can become a published author without going through a traditional method of trying to write it yourself and get it up so that you get functional. Now, of course, after that, there is still things like marketing it, creating funnels for it. I have other videos, trainings that talk about that, the importance of sales funnel, how to market books. But this, I want to keep it to getting your book published in under 2 hours. That is how I've created these best-selling books, and I hope it serves you as well. Let me know in the comments below. Hey, if you want to have a much bigger chance of actually having a book published, declare it to me. Let me know in the comments below what is the book that you're going to work on, because I want to keep you accountable, especially when I'm able to actually see it. So as always, if you found that this video has given you value, go ahead and click on subscribe for more videos like this. Get your book published, and I'll see you in the next video.